Kia ora and welcome to the Mountain Safety Council's Alpine Snow Skills Series. In this 5-part series, we'll be talking to a professional mountain guide from the New Zealand Mountain Guides Association. He'll be teaching us basic alpine skills for snow slopes and winter terrain. Keep in mind that this video is not designed to replace a training course or hands-on practical experience. We recommend taking an alpine skills course from a professional provider or learning directly from competent friends or family. Since you'll potentially be in avalanche terrain, make sure to understand the current avalanche forecast for the region you'll be in. Carry the necessary avalanche rescue equipment and know how to use it. And get the training and knowledge to avoid avalanche hazards. For more info, go to avalanche.net.nz. So Dave, what is a self-arrest?
Self-arrest is the technique we use to stop a slide or a fall on a snowy or icy surface. So, should I walk you through it?
Let's get into it.
Before we get right into the self-arrest thing, there's a couple of things we need to sort out. We need to look at the terrain, make sure that we've chosen an appropriate site. So, we obviously need a steep enough angle to get some slide on. Today it's a little bit soft, so we're going for a reasonably steep angle to get that slide on. But we are practicing sliding. We need to make sure that the run out is safe. So look down, there's no rocks here, no crevasses, no cliff faces. So you've got to have checked out your terrain that you're going to use. Even so, if it's snow over rocks, for instance at a ski area, have a probe around and make sure that the snow's deep enough and you're not going to grate yourself with something that's hidden. Next thing you need to do, put your skid lid on. Protect your head. This is one time that we don't actively use the leash on the axe. I like to just tie mine out of the way. The reason for that is if we were practicing this and the axe got away from us, it would be flapping around but attached to you and it could spike you. So in this case, it's better to lose your axe and go back and get it than to have it attached to you. We also, you'll notice, we've not got our crampons on. I know it's a fair call that you could slip and need to self-arrest with crampons on, and when I show you the body position, I'll show you how to rectify that, but no point in hurting ourselves while we're practicing. So crampons off, axe no leash, helmet on, and your hard shell, your waterproof clothing on, otherwise you're just going to get soaking wet while we're having fun in the snow. Before we get into bum slides and forward slides and the more complex, first thing you got to think about is the best self-arrest technique you can do is don't fall. Footwork first. If you do feel you're slightly off balance in soft snow like this, you may just want to plunge your axe and crouch down on it. If you can do that, you don't need to self-arrest. So we've been walking around, as we discussed in the ice axe episode. We're walking around, we've got a hand over the head of the axe, the adze bit is facing forward, the pick is facing back. We'll have it in an uphill hand. When we get into a self-arrest situation, the first thing that we do is we bring the axe up and we cover the spiky bit's called the ferrule. We cover that ferrule so that it doesn't jab into the snow and create a cartwheel effect. So we cover that, and then we're going to bring the axe across our body at chest height, and the end position you want to be in is that's going to be jabbed into the snow. This is going to be slightly elevated and my chest is going to be lying on the upper part of the shaft of the axe with my feet up in the air. That's to prevent those crampons spiking me. That's our finished position. As much weight as you can over the head of the axe.
So when I'm over it, I'm putting my weight kind of almost over my shoulder,
yep.
To the back of that?
Yep, just this should be in your shoulder and this should be slightly raised up. So your weight is on this part of the axe. Give it a go.
So in there, knees up though.
Bring it crossways a bit more. Yep, you actually get a little bit more holding power, and especially in softer snow, when it's slightly side on, rather than just cutting through when it's directly up and down. So that will give you a bit more holding power.
And then the shoulder.
And shoulder right over the top of it.
speed up.
Yep.
Alrighty.
If you do start sliding, you get some momentum. One of the first scenarios would be you're sliding down, your feet have come out from underneath you, you're on your bum and you're sliding down the slope. Okay? So I always roll to the side that I'm holding my axe. So if I'm holding my axe, if I was walking across this slope, I would be holding my axe in my right hand and I'll bring it across my body, but my body will roll to the side that I'm holding my axe. So on this soft snow, I'm going to have to give myself a little bit of a jump to get some momentum. So here we go. Try that again. Ready? Go for it. That's it. Put all your weight on.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jordan, that's all good fun, really good to practice, gets your body position right. Problem is, when you're in the mountains, you can't guarantee you're going to fall off the mountain on your bum. So, more likely scenarios are actually that you're walking along, you're going down the hill, you trip. How are you going to land when you trip? You're going to land head first, sliding down the hill. So we have to come up with a way of stopping ourselves. The end position is the same, but we need to, if we do this end position with our head still down the hill, it's not really doing what we want it to. We need to get our head up the hill. So to start with, you're still going to grab the ferrule. Now you're going to throw the axe out to the side into the snow. That's going to create a fulcrum and your body will swing around, and as soon as your feet are facing down the hill, you pull yourself up into your rest position. So this could be a little bit intimidating, just getting yourself sorted. If you're on a hard slope and you're practicing with friends, it may pay to kneel down and have your friend hold your back or your knees until you're ready to go. Okay, can be a bit brutal on your back otherwise. Okay, so let's give it a go. Out to the side.
Up the side, feet up.
That's the one. One of the worst scary scenarios is if you slipped over and you found yourself hurtling down the hill on your back. But the principles are exactly the same. You're going to put your arm out, the hand that's holding the axe, out to the side, allow it to become a fulcrum, and as you spin around, you're naturally going to spin over onto your front. It doesn't take much thought on your part to actually find yourself on your stomach. You're not going to hold like this and stay on your back. As soon as you start pulling it in, you'll turn onto your front. So again, it's a little bit committing getting used to starting, but it's fun. So off we go, down the hill, off to the side, and spin. And you can see how you naturally turn onto your front. One of the uncommon, and you never want it to happen, but we train for everything if we can, is you're walking along and you lose or haven't had your ice axe in your hand. So you're now sliding and you don't have this precious tool available for you. So in that case, this is the one time when you're kind of going to have to use your feet with the crampons on, and you're going to go down the hill. You still want to get onto your front, and you'll bring your feet in, hopefully slowly. In soft snow it's not so bad, in hard snow you don't want to jab them in or you'll cartwheel backwards. Put your feet in wide, and with your fists you do like a press up, and that will bring you up onto your feet. If you're too aggressive with this, you're going to get momentum on. So, like I said at the beginning, best not to fall. If you do, you stop yourself like that. Nice.
Now, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to self-arrest, it has to come as second nature. So make sure you practice a lot and on a safe slope with plenty of run out. However, if you find yourself in a situation where you may need to cross an area where you could slip, it's important to assess the situation first. Ask yourself the question, is this my best route? And maybe the safest thing to do is to find a different way through. And as with all the skills that we've learnt in this series, practice is key. And most of all, have fun in the mountains.